to making phenomenal music. Belle Mariano chats about her latest musical masterpiece, Like You. From the Spotlight press-con couch. From the moment the spotlight hits the velvet set and the Spotlight press-con couch becomes a throne for conversation, Belle Mariano radiates that rare blend of vulnerability and electric energy that every great artist carries. Today, she lifts the curtain not just on a song, but on a creative sprint. The kind of sprint that turns sleepless nights into melodies that cling to you like a chorus you can't shake off. Like You isn't merely a track. It's a map of a journey through trust, flirtation, and fearless vulnerability, stitched together with Belle's signature warmth and a production glow that feels both intimate and stadium-ready. The piece begins with a whispered piano, a heartbeat of a bass line that slides under Belle's voice like silk. She tells me she wrote the bulk of Like You in a studio that smelled faintly of citrus and rain, a space that felt less like a workplace and more like a confessional booth where every beat is a question you're brave enough to ask. She speaks in rings of honesty, the kind that makes you lean in, not to gape at a celebrity, but to listen for the human behind the gloss. I wanted to write something that rides the tension between wanting and knowing you're playing with fire, she says, eyes bright, a confident grin tugging at the corner of her lips. Like You is a dare I give myself, to trust the magic of imperfectly perfect moments. The song unfolds with a chorus that feels like a late-night text you reread in the morning, the kind that lingers in your head long after you've logged off. Belle describes the vocal approach as a blend of whispered innuendos and unguarded honesty, a balance that makes the listener feel like they've stumbled onto a private conversation that somehow everyone can hear. The arrangement swells with subtle brass that punctuates the flirtation, and a rhythmic pivot that lands just as you think you've found the lane. A playful detour into a higher, unashamedly triumphant register that announces a kind of self-possession you can dance to. It's glossy without being slick, cinematic without losing its fingerprint of sincerity. The press-con couch becomes a living stage in her telling, a seat that somehow makes the room feel as intimate as a bedroom and as electric as a stadium at sunset. She admits she loves when a song asks a question rather than delivers an answer. Like You does precisely that by layering modulations and microphrases that invite listeners to fill the blanks with their own stories. The lyrics flirt with the idea that light affection can be a real catalytic force, sparking courage, widening the world just enough to let a little more truth slip in. Belle's phrasing carries the weight of evenings spent listening to a favorite record and the buoyant comic book energy of a chorus that wants to lift the room off its feet. What makes Like You truly phenomenal is how the track refuses to settle into a single mood. It travels from sultry to hopeful to buoyant with a deftness that only a seasoned storyteller could summon. The bridge, where synth arpeggios bloom like fireflies and the tempo tightens around a delicious, almost cheeky drum fill, feels like a wink before the final chorus, a reminder that romance, in Belle's world, is a playground where consent and curiosity rehearse their lines in perfect harmony. She shares that the writing room was a place of games and gavotte, playful experiments with vocal textures, tiny electronic flourishes, and moments where a single breath could become a lyric if you listened closely enough. Beyond the sonic texture, Belle leans into the emotional spine of Like You, the moment when restraint loosens and authenticity takes the lead. She describes the track as a celebration of saying yes to vulnerability, a reminder that asking for what you want doesn't diminish your strength. It reveals it. The layering of harmonies, 2, 3, then a chorus of voices that feel like a chorus of friends, creates a sense of community that counters the loneliness a lot of romantic music can leave in its wake. It's a reminder that music, at its best, is a conversation, a way to tell someone, gently or boldly, that they matter enough to be heard in all their facets. As for the visuals accompanying Like You, Belle hints at a concept that melds kinetic choreography with intimate stills, a dance of light and shadow that mirrors the push-pull dynamic of the track. She envisions a music video that feels like a diary of glances and shared secrets, where every frame is a sentence and every scene invites a new interpretation. It's not just a video. It's a persuasive argument for why music is the language through which we say the things we fear to say aloud. The Spotlight press-con couch, of course, becomes more than a backdrop. is a symbol of how artists today are building conversations that are as inclusive as